Damn, all right, we're good to go. How you doing, everybody? Good evening. It, of course, is the old humpery-dumpery-doo day. It's Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. It's 7 p.m., which, of course, means that it's time for the Hat and Beard Show. You guys know I'm James with the Hat and Beard Show. You're an attentive audience. We're here to talk about NFL news and the Detroit Lions. It's a slow day. Slow day. Going to be a quick one, boys and girls. That's what she said. Executives, coaches, and scouts rank top NFL edge rushers for the Big 2-6. We have the list of 10 from ESPN over here. We're going to talk a little Lions news after that. Former Lion makes bold prediction about a new player. If you've been paying attention, you've heard me talk about him a couple of times. Sneaky little Brad Holmes play. What could we possibly have in the works? We'll see and discuss. And then analysts predict breakout player for Detroit Lions in the Big 2-6. We are looking forward into the future for the Detroit Lions and taking some swings at the defensive predictions. Their names we've already discussed, guys. But, sometimes it feels a little nice to go ahead and boost oneself, all right, and feel good about oneself and go, hey, yeah, maybe we are on the right track. If not, it also will give us a little bit more ammo when we try and talk a little sense into some people, because you guys know that over here at Mad Hatter Nation, which is you guys over there in the chat at youtube.com, it's going to cost you a subscription to get in over there. It's a little bit of a high bar to clear, but you know what? We're here for you. Mad Hatter Nation is, of course, a bastion of sanity in a sea of nonsense, and that's why we got to be ready to go when we're here to talk a little sense into some folks when they want to say the defense isn't rip-roaring, rocking, and ready to roll, and they say, Terrion Arnold's gone, and I said, yeah. And maybe we won't have as many penalties. Guys, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Of course, as I said, it will cost you a subscription to get into Mad Hatter Nation over at youtube.com. I think it's a pretty fair investment for what some may say. I'm not saying it. Others are saying it. That it is an infinite ROI on that investment. Boy, howdy. It's the wisdom of the crowd, dude. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. Share this video around with all of your friends. And if you have a hard time remembering when we go live, just turn that notification bell on. For whatever reason, y'all, YouTube is hell-bent on catering me to soccer fans. Let me know in the chat. You guys getting a soccer ball when you boop that like button? Recently, I've noticed it's still on the soccer ball. Don't like that. Not a big fan of that. But hey, clearly, look at me, right? Do I not just exude soccer fans, right? Don't I just look like your typical hooligan? Well, maybe on another continent. You never know, guys. Appreciate all that. Now we're going to hand off to Jocko. We're gonna get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right. Yep, soccer ball for the Snow Mexican. Sticks, how you doing, bud? We got a snowback in the chat, but you guys know if he's in the chat, he's a sane guy, dude. Sticks be coming with the hot and heavy takes from the cold north. We got a few Canadians up there. Eventually, you guys might want to come down here and enjoy some good old US of A free air. Just got to pay tax upon entry. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Detroit City. We were trying to keep up the great work. Thank you. What's going on, Jody? How you doing, sister? Good to see you. Hopefully, you guys are staying cool out there. I think this is the hottest day of the week, at least in this area, right? I think we're gonna kind of whoosh on down a little bit of a break before we ramp on up, guys. I'm just telling you right now. We're going to have a winter wonderland and a very snowy winter up here this year. I just got a feeling. You see, what I did is I smoked a peace pipe, and I went out to the ground, and I said, "How, speak to me." And then I pulled up my phone and I looked up the Farmer's Almanac. Like a freaking millennial. You know what I'm saying, guys? All right, so what do we have over here at ESPN.com? Executives and coaches rank top NFL edge rushers in the Big 2-6. We're not going to spend too much time talking about these guys. We kind of know who some of them are. And look, if I'm being honest and entirely unbiased, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that, yeah, we're getting a little disrespect. Now, this does kind of seem like an average of where everybody kind of finished their voting, right? Still, Detroit versus everybody until proven otherwise. But what do we have here from Jeremy Fowler? The 2026 NFL training camps are on the horizon. Yes. Yes, they are. Sir Topham Hatt, tell me more. And with that in mind, ESPN surveyed leagues, executives, coaches, and scoots from to help them rank the top 10 players at 11 different positions. This is the 7th edition of those. Here's how it works. Voters gave their own top 10 players at the position. Then we compiled the results, ranked candidates based on the number of top 10 votes, composite average, and dozens of interviews with research and film study help from ESPN NFL analyst Matt Bowen, as well as ESPN research. More than 70 voters submitted a ballot on at least one position, and in many cases, all positions. Additional voting and follow-up calls with those surveyed contributed to placements. This is not a 5-year projection or a career achievement award, but meant to answer a simple question. Who are the best players? Right meow. Right meow. Right meow. Right. We're gonna get into it right meow. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying meow? The NFL is enjoying a golden era for pass rushers, or a renaissance of shit offensive line play. The game is flooded with surefire Hall of Famers, as well as young stars eyeing that distinction. In some ways, ranking the top 10 edge rushers is the easiest exercise of all the positions because the names are so clear-cut. 9 players appeared on at least 70% of the ballots, with 6 appearing on 90%. Dang, man. Kind of these guys right here, you don't want to deal with these guys right here. You know what I'm saying? Right, meow. It's not who you want to deal with. Every first place vote went to one particular player who just switched jerseys. Oh, gee, who could that be? What a mystery. Oh boy, I don't know who that could be. You know what I'm saying? The group features mostly familiar faces, including one who rose 4 spots this year and another who fell by 5. Obviously, you guys know number 1, highest ranking, Myles Garrett, with a lowest ranking of 1. So he is clearly the NFL's favorite. We're not going to read about it. You know Myles Garrett. He's 30 years old. He was last year's number 1 ranked defensive end. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of... Micah Parsons. Really? I mean, he is suffering from a ACL tear in December. The tape is that good, they say. His metrics are the separator, providing a glimpse into how he can eventually catch Garrett in voting. Parsons finished second in pass rush win rate, despite facing double teams 37.8% of the time, nearly 8 percentage points higher than the next closest player, who was the consensus number 1 overall defensive end, Micah Parsons, or Myles Garrett. So, by the numbers, he's pretty good, right, man? Don't really care to read about Micah Parsons, though. Number 3, Will Anderson Jr. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm surprised, but not only is Will Anderson Jr. a bad man, but he was in the draft process. I was like, hey, that is a guy that the Lions should trade the house for. That's a guy right there. That Will Anderson Jr. guy. opposite Aidan Hutchinson. Oh, both on rookie scale contracts at the time. Oh. Oh. We literally could have put Giovanni Manu in the secondary if we had Will Anderson Jr. and Hutch. So Will Anderson Jr., you guys know, his steady improvement over the last 3 seasons elevated him to the top tier. He was tiered with Las Vegas's Mad Max Crosby in voting, but won the tiebreaker by getting more top 5 votes. Anderson creates havoc. He is credited with causing 43 incompletions in the Big 2025, 6 more than any other pass rusher. Okay, yes, he's not a defensive back. That is 43 incompletions by a pass rusher. He has 30 sacks in 3 years, a Defensive Rookie of the Year award, and an All-Pro honor. All that made it easy for Easton to commit $150 million on a 3-year extension. Just just an average of like $50 million a year, right? Yeah. I mean, crikey, at this point, you're basically stealing him for that rate. You know what I'm saying? Anderson led all NFL pass rush or players and pass rush wins off the edge with 62. Last season's very impressive. Max Crosby comes in at number 4. Look, I could read all the things about Max Crosby, but here's the thing. 1, I know that a large segment of the Lions fandom is, feels a certain way about Max Crosby. And, the narrative guy inside of me likes that as well. But it's not really my thing. It's not going to happen until he's an old man. And he comes in as a mercenary to chase the ring. So, we know what Max Crosby is. And I don't feel like getting sad reading about him. You know what I'm saying? Number 5. Chat. Do you think it's fair that Aidan Hutchinson is ranked number 5, or do you think he should be inside the top 5? And I realize at this point we're basically splitting hairs, but all I'm saying, highest ranking was number 2, and his lowest ranking was 8. That's kind of lame. Am I wrong? Does that not feel kind of lame, dude? You know what I'm saying? Last year's ranking was 7. Hutchinson's unique skill set makes him a steady climber up the board, similar to Anderson last season. Hutchinson ranked 2nd in pressures with 63, 3rd in quarterback hits with 35, tied for 2nd in forced fumbles with 4, and 4th in sacks with 14.5. Wish those numbers were a little bit higher on the sacks. But metrically, he is mayhem. He is mayhem on the field. It was a complete performance coming off a serious leg injury that cost him more than half of the 2024 campaign. His 950 snaps were first among defensive linemen. Quote, skilled with his hands, very good speed to power rush to keep offensive tackles off balance, and his superpower, and this is something that I emphasize that we look for players, both here in Mad Hatter Nation and in the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell era of the Detroit Lions, his superpower is his motor is nonstop, a veteran defensive coach said. Hutchinson is the first player since 1982 to have 40 or more sacks and 5 or more interceptions in his first 4 NFL seasons. Oh, damn, boy. That's what I'm saying. He's mayhem. He's just Mr. Mayhem out there. Number 6, Danielle Hunter. Okay. He's also a bad man. An older bad man. But this is where Houston's defense just gets absolutely bananas with it, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't like reading about Danielle Hunter. TJ Watt, Pittsburgh Steelers. Highest rank was 3. Lowest rank was unranked. Okay. This is a sizable fall for Watt, a 3-time sack king who logged back-to-back number 2 rankings over the past 2 years. Watt missed 3 late-season games in 2025 with a partially collapsed lung due to an accident during a routine dry needling incident at the team facility. But his pass rush win rate in 14 games was 11.7%, the lowest among this year's top 10 rushers. Definitely in decline, an NFL exec said. Quote, he's still very good, but some of the younger players have surpassed him. While Pittsburgh plans to utilize all 3 of their top edge rushers, Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Nick Herbig, in 2026, some team executives believe the Steelers might entertain a Watt trade at some point for a Detroit Lions 4th-round pick. But Watt's career is Canton-worthy. He is one of 5 NFL players to record 115 sacks in their first 9 seasons, and according to Patrick Graham's scheme, the change will move Watt around the formation more often, which could utilize his instincts. Quote, he can win with his high motor and his flair for the big play, but the burst and get-off isn't the same as it was as a result of his lower body injuries, an NFL personnel evaluator said. That's an accurate thing, and that's where I'm saying when you get into this part of the career here, the sun is starting to kind of set on the career. You're still a viable asset to a team, but unfortunately, the way the business operates, you're starting to kind of age out, and the age is starting to show, bud. Right? Now, what I say, though, is when I'm like Max Crosby, when he gets to this point of his career is when maybe the Lions could maybe see him come into town, later on, when you get into this soon-to-be possible trade asset, mercenary, gun for hire, an Ndamukong Suh style, where you just kind of like, hey, eventually you just kind of go, I'll just fucking wait around and chase a ring with the team, sign mid-season. Nick Bosa hits number 8, Brian Burns at number 9. I don't like Brian Burns. And Nick Bonito at number 10. Some honorable mentions were Jared Verse of the Cleveland Browns, Trey Hendrickson of Baltimore, Josh Hines-Allen of Jacksonville. Also receiving votes was Trayvon Walker, Jalen Phillips, Montez Sweat, Liatu Latu, Nick Herbig, and Alex Highsmith. So whoopity-dippity-doo, Aidan Hutchinson is at number 5, and I think he should be around the number 2, number 3 spot. But you let me know, chat. Let me know. What do you think? Where do you think Hutch was, maybe a little disrespect? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jack? How you doing, brother? Pennington Sasquatch says $50 million a year. Who does he think he is? Jalen Duren. Hell yeah, coming off an injury, 5 is not bad. Hey, okay, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. Myles Garrett, Mad Max, Hutch, Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter. Okay, yeah. So Myles Garrett 1, Max Crosby 2, Hutch at 3. Okay, I can get behind that. I'm not so wild on the Parsons thing, if I'm being honest. I'm not really. But I'm a hater. I'm a hater when it comes to Packers, dude. F the Packers, dude. Fuck the Packers, dude. Oh, there goes YouTube fucking making me just giving me the soccer ball, dude. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, over here at Pride of Detroit, let's talk about a little 3-1-3 action. A former Lion makes a bold prediction about a new player. One former Detroit player thinks Payton Turner could be in for a huge year, right? Who is it? Who's making these claims, right? Lions could use a big boost in their pass rush, and one former Lions player is predicting it could come from a surprising source. Linebacker Grant Stewart left in free agency this year after just 1 season in Detroit, but he predicted over on Instagram that the Lions' new defensive end, Payton Turner, could be in for a humongous year. On an Instagram story, Stewart captioned a Turner post with 10 words. 10 plus sacks. Watch. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I like to see. Look at this. Bam! There you go. Look at him go, dude. Maybe now Stewart isn't exactly an impartial judge here, Both Turner and Stewart were teammates for 4 years in college at Houston. When the Lions signed Turner in free agency, Stewart was one of the first to praise the move online, calling it a, quote, perfect fit. Look, I kind of like that. I liked Grant Stewart. You know what I'm saying? I kind of liked it. But Turner could also be a player some are unfairly overlooking. While injuries caused Turner to miss 36 games in his first 3 years, he was a first-round pick of the Saints in 2021. He has a great athletic profile, particularly for Detroit's physical style they prefer in defensive ends. That said, 10-plus sacks would be a huge jump from realistic expectations. Turner only produced 5 sacks in 31 games. He'll also have to compete for playing time with second-round pick Derek Moore and free agent addition, the guy who I'm kind of hanging my hat and my beard on, DJ Wonnum. Still, it's fun to think about what could happen if Turner suddenly lives up to his potential, much like Charles Harris did. 7.5 sacks in the 2021 season. So, maybe he comes in, does a little splash here, splash there. Hey, we could be looking at Payton Turner hitting his career numbers, tying his career overall numbers in sacks. And if he's in a rotation with Hutch, Moore, Wonnum, possibly Onwuzurike, we don't know. That's a lot of guys, right? And he comes in, does 5, 7.5, hell, even to getting the 10 sacks. Kind of hard to argue with something like that. But, we can all dream. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to dream. But that's all they really are, is dreams. One can shit in one hand and wish in the other, and we can see which one turns into a chicken. How do you guys feel about Payton Turner, chat? How do we feel about that? You guys like Payton Turner? Do you like the Payton Turner signing? I kind of like the Payton Turner signing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that's a sneaky move. I thought I'm more on board with the Wonnum signing, and everybody likes the second round pick because it's a second round pick on the defensive end. It is what it is. But I think Payton Turner might have a little bit more juice to him in our scheme, and maybe, as is the case with, ironically, Juice Scruggs, a little change of scenery. A little change of scenery can do a young fella a lot of good. Get a little bit of juice back in you. I keep saying juice, but Dan Campbell, the ultimate motivator, dude. If he can if there's a guy who can get the most out of a player, it's going to be the combination of the head coach and the defensive coordinator, Dan Campbell and Calvin Shepard. Ultimate motivators, dude. And I think if they squeeze just right, you can get 5+ sacks this year out of Payton Turner. Why not, dude? Scheme him up, dude. Let's go, dude. All right, final article over here. Analyst predict a surprise breakout player for Detroit in 2026. Another guy we've been talking about. Another little I know it's not ever flashy. It's not ever sexy, right? But we wouldn't be the team we are now if Brad Holmes wasn't making these, not great signings. And you can take that in either direction. We would be better off or we could be worse off. We would, the point is Brad Holmes' way does in fact work. It's just not the prettiest sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The Lions entered the 2026 season with several new faces expected to take on bigger roles. Pickily in the secondary. According to ESPN analyst Ben Slowak, one player stands above the rest, ironically, because he's pretty short. Detroit's top breakout candidate, according to Ben Slowak, is cornerback Roger McCreary, the guy who everyone's like, hey, he's brought in to replace Amik. But again, maybe a little bit more juice than you might think he's got. Following the Lions' release of Terrion the Idiot Arnold, Detroit suddenly, allegedly, Detroit suddenly has significant playing time available at the defensive backfield, and Slowak believes McCreary is an ideal position to capitalize. Let's go, dude. Roger McCreary could be ready for a bounce-back season. In his annual list of breakout candidates for every NFL team, Slowak pointed to McCreary as a player who could emerge as an impact contributor in Detroit's defense. With Arnold no longer on the roster, the Lions have open competition at both outside cornerback and nickel cornerback, McCreary joins Rock Yassin, Enos, the Weenus, Penis, Rakestraw, Breakstraw Jr., and rookie Keith Abney II among players competing for those snaps. Slowak believes McCreary has the experience and versatility to separate himself. Quote, McCreary was a rookie starter and a productive one at that for the Titans in 2022. He can play inside and out, though his lack of length makes him better suited for slot work and will likely always limit his on-ball production. A familiar fit in Detroit's defense, one of the biggest reasons Slowak is optimistic about McCreary is how well his skill set matches Detroit's philosophy. He praised the former Titans defensive back for his instincts in zone coverage, physicality against the run, and ability to hold up in man coverage. He also compared McCreary's game to former Lions defensive back. Tell me if you've heard this one already. Amik Robertson, who became an important piece for Detroit's defense before departing in free agency this offseason. And I wish him the best of mediocrity. Quote, still he's smart in zone coverage, physical enough to survive against the run, and plenty sticky when asked to play man-to-man. Much of his game is similar to that of Amik Robertson, who thrived in Detroit before signing a solid deal in Washington this past offseason. I'm buying McCreary. Bounce back. Hell yeah, let's go. Opportunity is a knocking. The Lions acquired McCreary with the hope that he could strengthen the secondary, but few expected the opportunity to arrive this quickly. Now, with Arnold gone and multiple cornerback jobs up for grabs, McCreary has a legitimate chance to become a key contributor in Calvin Shepard's defense. Training camp is expected to feature one of the team's most competitive position battles, and if Slowak's prediction proves accurate, McCreary could emerge as one of Detroit's biggest surprises during the 2026 season. For a Lions defense looking to take another step forward, a breakout year for McCreary would be a welcome development. Yes, it would. Yes, it would be a welcome development. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If McCreary has a good year, what are the odds that he's back next year? You know what I'm saying? Or are we looking at Roger McCreary being a one and done in Detroit, regardless of the outcome? If it's bad, it's an easy out. If it's good, he's probably going to chase a bag, dude. We know how Brad is when it comes to paying those cornerbacks who have a 1 year, solid year of production for the Lions. Carlton Davis. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying? We've played this game. We've seen this movie. That being said, I don't want anything bad. But if Keith Abney comes in and is just like, just electrifying, you know what I mean? Bro, how sick would it be if the whole, all offseason, there's all these questions around the secondary, right? Obviously, omitting the safeties from this conversation, focusing on the cornerback 2 and replacing Amik at the slot, the nickel. And then Arnold, idiot, getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying? What if our secondary is just like, our corners are electrifying, right? With being these DJ Reed and Rakestraw emerging on the outside and Abney. Right? Like, what if it's those guys? What if it's those guys and they're just like locked down? How crazy and sick would that be, dude? We just get, that would be, for Hutch to hit 26 sacks like I'm predicting him to do, we need to have lockdown corners. He can do 15 to 18 with the coverage that we had last year. To get the big 2-6 and the big 2-6, I'm going to need good safety play. I'm going to need that knee of Kirby to be better. I'm going to need solid play in replacement of Branch. And I'm going to need some type of miracle story on the corner 2 and nickel, whether it's McCreary or Abney. And on the outside, whether it's Rock Yassin or Rakestraw, or hell, what if it's Nick Whiteside? What if it's Nick Whiteside, right? Boy, riding the grandma wagon sure is fun, fellas. It's been a good ride tonight. Shorter show, obviously, not a lot to talk about. It's the off season. This is what we're doing. I've been prepping you guys for this one for a while. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? Jack says Payton Turner will have more sacks than Wanham. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, dude. That's fair. Because Wanham isn't brought in to be, Wanham isn't brought in to be a pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? He's brought in to be that big end to stop the run, to be a 60% snap count guy. Downs, at least the first 2 downs, short yardage third down. He's the run defender. So we got to look at Moore and Turner as your, possibly your extra pass rush guys opposite Aidan Hutchinson. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Work was absolutely shit today. Make me laugh. Oh, I wish I could, dude. We're about to bail out of here, though, man. I feel you, though, Derek. Work. You're not the only one, dude. It's been a little up and down, dude. It's been a little up and down, but hopefully things are gonna straighten themselves out and we can start getting, turn them and burn them, dude. Rack them and stack them, dude. Rack them and stack them. You know what I'm saying? But, brother, we're about to bail up out of here. It's Wednesday. There's not shit to talk about, dude. But we made the best of it. We made the best chicken salad out of chicken we could. You know what I'm saying, buddy? You know what I mean, Billy? We did the absolute best that we could, but some days she goes and some days she don't go. It's the way of the road, Billy. It's the way of the road. It's the way she goes. You know what I'm saying? Great show. Thank you, Mr. Detroit City. I appreciate it. Rick, appreciate you, dude. Sticks, Rick, Pennington Sasquatch, Jody, you guys, everybody else that was hanging out, dude. I appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out of your day during this off-season slog on the Humpery Dumpery Doo Day, Wednesday, July 8th in the big 2026, guys. We made it to the end of the day. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening. Stay out of trouble. We will be right back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to find something to talk about. We'll talk something about football, something or another. It is what it is. We'll hang out, and then, of course, Friday. Friday's going to be a chill show, dude. Friday is basically just happy hour with us, dude. I actually think maybe what we'll do is even in the regular season is like I'll just like call the Friday shows just like happy hour with Hat or something. You know what I mean? Like something that it's just gonna be relaxed, chill, just yucking it up, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday night. We'll have a couple sodas. You know what I mean? Something to look forward to, fellas. We got to get through tomorrow. Then it'll be almost to the weekend. But it's all downhill. That's the thing. That's the thing I tell people, dude. Wednesday, it's all downhill from here, dude. It's just a couple slaloms, and then you're into the weekend. You know what I'm saying? We'll get there, fellas. We'll get there. Have a great rest of the evening. Stay out of trouble doing anything I wouldn't do until then. I've been James with the Hat and Beard Show. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga bonga. Frig off, dude.